why you should not get a virtual address for your LLC, and what to do instead. If you're thinking about starting an LLC, you've probably heard this advice. Just get a virtual address. It's cheap, easy, and keeps your home private. But here's the truth, that advice can ruin your filing and even get your business suspended later on. I know that sounds dramatic, but I've seen it happen again and again. People use the wrong kind of address, and months later they find out their LLC isn't even valid. So in this video, I'm going to explain why most virtual addresses are not accepted for LLCs, what those legal terms actually mean, the difference between a virtual address and a registered agent, and the exact step-by-step to fix it the right way with Bizee, one of the few companies that sets it up correctly and transparently. I'm Erin from LLC Deals, and I help small business owners start and grow their business the right way without getting ripped off by hidden fees or bad advice online. We want to start this off with a quick disclosure that we're affiliated with Bizee, the main service we'll be discussing in today's video. If you use one of our links in the description, we may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. We truly appreciate your support, and we believe in being transparent about all partnerships. Why everyone buys a virtual address. So first, let's talk about why people even want a virtual address. Well, most of us don't want our home address showing up on public sites, right? When you register your LLC, that address goes into the public business database in your state. And yes, people can literally Google it. So people think, oh, I'll just rent a mailbox from UPS or use one of those $10 a month virtual office websites. And that's where the problem starts. Because most of those addresses are not legally recognized as business addresses for LLC formation. What a virtual address actually means. Let's break down what a virtual address really is, because the name makes it sound a lot fancier than it is. A virtual address is basically a mail forwarding service. It's a company that receives your mail, scans it, and then forwards it to you electronically. That sounds convenient, but in the eyes of your Secretary of State, the government office that approves your LLC, it is not a real physical location. The state requires that someone, a real person, will be able to receive legal documents in person at your listed address during business hours. And that's how they make sure that they can deliver things like lawsuits, tax forms, or renewal notices. A virtual address doesn't have a human being standing there during the day to accept that kind of mail. It's just a rented box number. So when you list that as your principal office or registered agent address, your filing ends up getting flagged. What a registered agent actually is, this is where people get confused. So let's explain it like we're in 8th grade. Every LLC in America has to list a registered agent. Think of that person or company as your business's official mailbox for the government. If your business ever gets sued, or if the state needs to send you an important letter, that mail goes to your registered agent. But here's the rule, that address has to be a real street address, not a PO box, not a UPS store, not a mail forwarding center. The agent must physically exist in the state where you registered your LLC. And that's why you can't just list a virtual address. It's not that the state's being picky, they legally can't send a sheriff or a process server to deliver documents to a digital inbox. A friend of mine is a photographer who started his business in California, and he didn't want people knowing where he lived, so he used a fancy looking address he found online for $9 a month. It came with a suite number, sounded real, and even said business address for LLC use. And everything seemed fine for about 6 months. Then he applied for a small business grant. The grant reviewer looked up his LLC in the public database and saw address invalid. Turns out that suite number was actually a UPS mailbox. The grant got denied because his business wasn't in good standing. He had to file an amendment, pay another $70, and then re-verify verify his identity. That's when he found out the state's system automatically cross-references your address with USPS's list of CMRAs, commercial mail receiving agencies. If it's on that list, it gets flagged as non-compliant. And that's why we're doing this video, to help you not end up in his situation. The right solution. So if virtual addresses don't work, what should you use instead? You need a registered agent address, a real street address that satisfies your state's legal requirements and keeps your home private. And that's exactly what companies like Bizee provide. When you form an LLC through them, they include 1 year of registered agent service for free. That means you get a real compliant business address in your state, and any government mail or legal notice automatically gets forwarded to you online. Private, it's legal, and it's permanent. Now let's walk you through what that looks like step by step. All right, so let's head over to Bizee. It says start your business with confidence, launch your LLC in minutes. So you would first pick your entity. There's LLC, S corporation, C corporation, and nonprofit. And in this case, we are going to choose LLC, which stands for Limited Liability Company. And what that basically means is your business is legally separate from you. So if your business owes money or gets sued, your personal assets like your savings or your car are protected. Then you want to choose your state. We have all 50 states here, so I will click California, then click Start My Business. So what I love is Bizee shows you your exact state filing fee up front, which is huge because most websites usually hide this until you check out of it. So some states would charge around like $50. Others can go up to $500, but California state fee in this case is going to be $75. So just knowing that number really helps you budget correctly, especially if you are a small business. All right, so step 2, you want to compare the packages. So you'll see these 3 plans. You have your basic plan, standard plan, and premium plan. So all of these are different. It's a little bit overwhelming because you see all these check marks, but it's actually very straightforward. What I love is that they are very transparent about the add-ons that you would need to purchase. So for example, the expedited filing, business contract templates, your EIN business tax number, and your operating agreement are all additional charges. So with the basic plan, you would have to pay this specific amount to get this specific package. But what I really love is they immediately tell you the price. So you never have to guess, you never have to be, shocked with a random fee. So that is something that Bizee is really great at doing. So for the basic plan, it's free plus your state fee for $75. And that's really all you need to get registered. Other platforms that claim to be free usually charge things like your EIN and operating agreement without really letting you know. They just take your credit card and charge it, but Bizee doesn't do that. Next thing, standard plan, it's $199 plus your state fee. So this includes your EIN business tax number, your operating agreement, as well as your IRS form 2553, which would be $50 in the basic version. Also business contracts and annual report reminders so that you never miss a deadline. Premium plan is $299 and it adds expedited filing. So it says 3 days here, but it's normally 4 weeks in the basic and standard version. So the premium plan adds that expedited filing, a business website, and professional email. So if you want to look extra professional from day one, this plan really gives you that setup without really second guessing anything else that's included because they already let you know that it's part of the premium package. So step 3, you want to finally review and get started. On the right side, you'll see your final order summary, and that is going to be your total price. A lot of other platforms add those random document storage or compliance monitoring charges here, but Bizee doesn't do that. So once you click get started, they'll file your articles of organization, which is basically your business's birth certificate, the document that makes your LLC official in the state's record. records. Once that's approved, you'll get an email with all your legal paperwork and digital copies stored right in your Bizee dashboard. It will also ask you for the management method. So there are two general methods by which an LLC may be managed, either member managed or manager managed. And the state does require you to specify the management method when an LLC is formed. So what's the difference? Member managed, the members or owners of the LLC will participate in the decision-making process of the LLC, whereas the manager managed is a manager is a person chosen by the members to manage the day-to-day operations of the LLC. Common mistakes people make. Here are the most common mistakes I see people make when setting up their LLC address. Number one, thinking a mailbox is the same as a business address. A PO box or UPS store is not a real business location. The state knows it and they'll reject your filing. Number two, mixing up virtual address and registered agent. A virtual address is a convenience. A registered agent is a legal requirement, and they are not the same thing. Number three, forgetting to update your address after moving. If you move homes or offices, your LLC filing must be updated too, or you can lose good standing. Number four, falling for cheap LLC filing websites. Many of those sites advertise $0 filings, but then they'll sneak in $200 worth of address verification or mail forwarding charges later on. Number five, not reading what's actually included. If a website doesn't clearly show you a total price and what's in your plan, that is going to be a red flag. Q&A, answering the big questions. Can I just use my home address? Yes, but it becomes public information. Anyone can find it online. What happens if I already used a virtual address? You can fix it. You just need to file an address change with your Secretary of State. Bizee can do that for you easily. Do all states have the same rules? No, some states are stricter than others, but none of them accept PO boxes for your registered agent or principal office. Why do some virtual offices say they're compliant? Some big providers rent out real office space, but many small ones just use mail forwarding. Always check if it's a CMRA address before you buy. What's a CMRA again? It stands for Commercial Mail Receiving Agency. It's basically a business that handles mail for other people. The state database knows every one of them and flags them automatically. Do I need a registered agent forever? Yes, as long as your LLC is active. It's not a one-time thing, but again, Bizee does give you your first year free, and you can renew it later if you want to stay with them. Is a virtual mailbox actually worth it for small LLCs? This is where things get confusing, so let's clear it up. A virtual mailbox is not the same thing as a virtual address. It's a digital mail service where you can see your postal mail online, almost like email for physical letters. So is it worth it? If you're a small LLC that works from home, a virtual mailbox can be helpful, but only for regular business mail, not for your legal filings. So think of it like this. Your registered agent address is for official government documents. Your virtual mailbox is for everything else: client checks, packages, business cards, invoices, etc. It's kind of like school mail versus home mail. Your teacher, which is the state, needs your official address for permission slips, but your friends can still send letters to your PO box. So if you want extra privacy and a professional image, a virtual mailbox can be worth it as long as you don't use it as your official LLC address. If you need one, look for companies like iPostal1 or Anytime Mailbox. They specialize in virtual mailboxes and are upfront about what they can and can't be used for. So if there's one takeaway from this video, it's this: don't fall for the cheap virtual address trap. If you try to save $10 a month now, you might end up paying hundreds later fixing rejected filings. So the right way to do this is very simple. Use a registered agent address that's compliant in your own state and keeps your home private. That's exactly what Bizee gives you: that transparent pricing, free first-year registered agent, and also no hidden junk fees. And you can set it up today through my link down below, llcdeals.com/Bizee. It takes you straight to the official Bizee sign-up page. I'm Erin from LLC Deals. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.